Good morning, dear students. Children, welcome back to your another session of your online classes. And children, let's continue with the topic that we were studying. We were studying about improvement in food resources. And children, today is the third part of the lesson, and we were discussing about crop production management. We were studying about crop production management. So, children, I told you that there are three steps that are involved in crop production management. First is the nutrient management, second is the irrigation, and third is the cropping pattern. So, today we will take up about the irrigation. Now, what is meant by irrigation? Irrigation means, children, supplying of water to the growing crops. In my previous classes also, children, I told you that in India, agriculture is totally based on the monsoons. As the monsoons, before the monsoon, the seeds are grown, and children, the crops which are grown during the monsoon season, they are the one which requires large amount of water. You remember I taught you about Rabi crop, Kharif crop. So they are the Kharif crop which are being grown in the monsoon season. Natural irrigation. Now, India has got a very vast geographical area, and children, you will find that the rains are not the same in whole part of the India. Now, this year, I don't know to say or no, but by the grace of God, it's raining nice. But children, this nice rain is also harmful for the crops and especially the farmers. They result in a very high economical loss. So children, every time the rains are not there, so a farmer cannot all the time depend on the rain for irrigation. It needs to have some other option. So in today's lesson, we will study about the different irrigation methods that are being adopted by our Indian farmer. Water management is very essential for crop survival and for maximum crop yield. If the crops are not getting sufficient water, definitely we will not get a good crop yield. And children, we must also see to that the crops are not overwatered. We need to develop a proper drainage system so that the problem of waterlogging and salination can be controlled. And if these are not controlled, then it definitely results in the proper, it affects our growth and crop production. In India, irrigation mainly includes the canal system. Second is the groundwater, and from groundwater, children, we can take the water um, in the form of tube well or in the form of well. Tanks are also adopted in some part of the India, and rainwater harvesting projects. But children, rainwater harvesting projects, they are not much implemented in India. I should not say this, but it's a fact. And one of the largest canal in India is Indira Gandhi Canal, which is approximately 650 kilometer. Now, irrigation, it's an artificial application of water to the soil or to the agricultural field. It is a replacement or supplementation of rainwater with another source of water. It is being used in dry areas and especially in those areas and those periods when there is a inadequate rainfall. It is beneficial for the growth of agricultural crops and the plants. Children, the first type of irrigation practice which is being adopted very widely in India is the canal irrigation. Now this canal irrigation, canals are being taken out from any major river and children northern part of India like Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh. These are the area where canal irrigation is being done on a very large scale. We are blessed to have some of the major river in Gujarat, children. You know, Narmada is one of the largest river of Gujarat, and from that Narmada river, lot of canals are being taken up, and those canals were able to reach water to the Kutch part of Gujarat. You know, Kutch. Some part of the Kutch is actually a deserted area, and nowadays the people of Kutch they have taken agriculture as one of the latest and the challenging occupation, and they are producing a very fine varieties of the crops. Now, canals can be effective source of irrigation, especially in the low-lying area, है ना? And like just now I told you, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, then Gujarat. These are some of the states which is where it is being practiced on a large scale. What are the merits? Most of the canal provide perennial irrigation and supply as and when we need water. Canals contain water all 12 months in a year, and it protects our crop from the drought condition. What are the demerits? Children, many times like this year, how it is raining in excess. When it is raining in excess, so what happened? The canals also overflow and it affects the agricultural land. Next is children, groundwater. All the excess rainwater, it percolates down and it gets accumulated as groundwater. Now this groundwater can be taken out either in the form of well or in the form of tube well. And there are some part of India like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Tamil Nadu and many other part of India where they are being practiced on a very large scale. Well, actually they are scary also, and they are a bit risky also. So most of the time now you will find well are very less. They were there in the ancient times, especially when kings ruled India. But nowadays, children, if you visit any village, you will find tube wells very much. So tube well is very well, it works very well with the electricity, and it can cover a larger surface area than the wells, and they are being used on a very large scale in many part of the India. What are the merits? It is very simple, cheap and independent source of irrigation, and it can be used whenever we need it. We don't have to wait for the rains or we don't have to wait for summers. And children, Suraj Karadi, the area where most of the people have their own independent tube well, so they are not much dependent on the water which is being supplied by the municipal corporation, because we stay in such an area where there is a scarcity of water. Scarcity of water is not there, but children, scarcity of fresh water is there. So now the well water, the water which is drawn from the ground, it contains many chemicals like nitrates, chloride, sulfate, and they are good for the fertility of the soil, and they can be reliable even during the drought when the surface water dries up. It can, what are the drawbacks? It can be irrigated to a smaller area. We cannot take it to 5 kilometer or 10 kilometer. These are the children picture of well and the tube well. I am very much sure आपने ये सभी को देखा होगा. I think when you go to Bhet Dwarka, so near one of the temple there is a well. So whenever you visit next time, just go and see it. Okay. Now, children, some part of the India which receive very high rainfall, and so what do the villagers have done? They have constructed a small bund, है ना, which are made up of earth and stones, and this water is used for irrigation, and it is also used for many domestic purposes and also used for the cattles. Now, this particular practice is done in many most part of the India, I can say. And what is its merit? It they most of the tanks, they are natural and they do not involve very high costing. They are for public and can be used for many people. And children, nowadays fish culture has become a very common in the tanks. What are the demerits? Most of the tanks they dry up during the season, during the summer season, and they are unable to provide water when it is actually required. So this is a picture of a tank irrigation. Now children, one last is river lift system. Now river lift system is applicable to those areas where canal flow is irregular because of insufficient river supply. So in these cases what do we do? If let's say for example children, अगर मीठापुर के आसपास कोई बड़ी सी नदी जा रही होती तो हम क्या करते हैं, हम उस रिवर का एक हिस्सा उठा लेते हैं with the help of pipelines. And this system is called as a river lift system. In this system, water is directly taken from the rivers to supplement the water requirement for the nearby areas. The farmer should be acquainted with the type. A farmer should be aware what type of the soil he has in his crop, what is the quantity of moisture that is present in the soil, what are the facility of irrigation he has, and he must know very well about the process of agriculture, and in this way he can improve the better quality of the crop yield. Children, this is a picture of a river lift system. So it's all about the different agricultural techniques that are being adopted by the Indian farmers. I hope you have understood the concept. Thank you, children, and take care of yourself.